it look easy. All your friends are gonna notice. You make it look easy. Go on and do what you do. All of this, all of this, all of this looks like gold. What you touch, what you touch, what you touch turns to gold. Pop, are you seeing clear? Are you seeing clear? Pop, pop, all the colors here, all the colors here. Pop, are you seeing clear? Are you seeing clear? Pop, pop, all the colors here, all the colors here.
Hey everybody, hi, how are you guys tonight? Good to see you. Oh, Kelly's here. We'll have to pull up her art that she did last night, and we showed it last night. Yay. Okay. What's going on? Oh well. I think I lowered my chair today. That's what I did. Oops, wrong lever. Hello. There we go. Oh. Yes. So, busy day. I have been recording like a banshee today. This is the 5th recording today. Oh, well, this is the live stream. I did 4 other recordings for you guys. Got them all going. Everything's getting there. I'm getting the premieres loaded up. You should see all these premieres like lined up for me for while I'm gone. Woohoo! I hope there's not a max on they can do that, but I'm doing it anyway. So let's say hi to everybody. Welcome to Story and Art. I love our little story circle. It's just so cool. Linda's here and Tamara, yay. Tamara, I was just watching the Massey Boys too. Bob and I are having dinner and we watched their 2-year anniversary show. It was pretty fun to see that, how Jeremy had that deer in the headlights look. I'm gonna have to email him and crack me up. Yeah, so yes, and wow, time flies. Hi Gail. Yes, we're lots of rain here today. Oh Gail, have you had rain down there? Oh my goodness, we've had just a beautiful day here. It rained this morning. We had like 3 or 4 little rainstorms come through, which cleared out the air, but we've had this beautiful like 80 degrees and like a light breeze. Hi Larry, nice to have you here, and Kelly's here. So there, and Linda checking all the way through. So hard for you to make. Oh well, that's okay. I have to. There's Angel. Hi Angie, how are you? Yay. Good to have you here. There's a max you can go, only be gone for a week. Sorry. Funny, Larry. Funny. Haha. Yeah, almost no. Almost had me there. I thought, oh, no. That's, man, I ish together. Forgot the Massey thing. Well, the Massey's was not a premiere, so there was no like live chat. I think, at least unless they did it at an earlier time. I saw it as a recorded one. I didn't think it was. But yeah, that would have been funny to have that be in a premiere with the live chat while they were doing that. We could have really harassed them a bunch. That would have, that would have been a great time. Oh my goodness. So hovered around 80 today, mowed and weed whacked. Smooches. Hi, Julia's here too. Yay. Okay, first up, I gotta go find, if I can find this. There, let's go, and since Kelly was not able to be here last night, but we all got to see, she hasn't gotten to see what I do. So Kelly, when you send in your artwork, you said that you were a newbie, I put it in a scene and show it to everybody, and this is what showed up last night. We got to see your artwork last night. So I didn't get any sent to me today. So next time I'll probably do art will be on Sunday or Monday. If anybody does anything over the weekend, otherwise I'll save it till midweek next week to do it. We'll see how it goes. I think I got the last of my pre-recordings done for you guys, so I should be pretty up to date. But yeah, Kelly, all of us were commenting how gorgeous this is, and how they're so pretty, the colors. I particularly like the long one because I just like that shape. But I really like the yellow part with the cells underneath it, the folder type cells underneath of the square one. They're just both really lovely, really, really lovely. And so we had a good time with that last night. So watching those, everybody was very kind. Very kind and well deserved. They were beautiful pieces. So you saw the opening on the big word of diversity, different and yet the same. I found 2 books for tonight. One is by Jacqueline Woodson, which we've read several of her books. Each Kindness was one of the books that Jacqueline Woodson has done that I read. And she's just a really powerful writer. Let me show you some work by her. Her work in children's literature is just super astounding. And did I check my email? Did I miss something? I did. Oh, okay. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Yay. Thanks, Larry. So Jacqueline Woodson has written so many books. Like if I go on her book list alone, her picture books, like Showway is an amazing quilt book. Coming on Home Soon, Sweet Sweet Memory, The Other Side. This is the one about the 2 little girls that end up sitting on the fence because their moms tell them they can't cross the fence to be with the other one. And Each Kindness is a book that, when it came out, was adopted by all the elementary counselors in our district, and it was used a lot for that. But today, I'm going to read The Day You Begin. But she has, let's a little bit about her. I used to say I'd be a teacher or a lawyer or a hairdresser when I grew up, but even as I said these things, I knew what made me happiest was writing. And that was in her TED Talk. Okay, does that tell you right there? A picture book writer that has a TED Talk. She wrote on everything and everywhere. Remember her uncle catching me writing my name in graffiti on the side of a building. It was not pretty when her mother found out. I wrote on paper bags and my shoes and denim binders and chalked stories across sidewalks and penciled tiny tales in notebook margins. I loved and still love watching words flower into sentences and sentences blossom into stories. Yeah, she's just lots and lots of books. She says, as I told a lot of stories as a child, not once upon a time stories, but basically outright lies. I loved lying and getting away with it. There was something about telling the lie story and seeing your friend's eyes grow wide with wonder. Of course, I got into trouble for lying, but that didn't stop until 5th grade. That year, I wrote a story about, and my teacher said, "This is really good." Before that, I had written a poem about Martin Luther King that was, I guess, so good that no one believed I wrote it. After lots of brouhaha, it was believed, and finally that I had indeed penned the poem, which went on to win me a Scrabble game and local acclaim. So by the time the story rolled around and the words, "This is really good," came out of the otherwise downturned lips of my 5th grade teacher, I was well on my way to understanding that a lie on the page was a whole different animal, one that won you prizes and got surly teachers to smile. A lie on the page meant lots of independent time to create your stories and the freedom to sit hunched over the pages of your notebook without people thinking that you were strange. Lots and lots of books later, I'm still surprised when I walk into a bookstore and see my name on a book, or when the phone rings and someone on the other end is telling me that I've won an award. Sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk for long hours and nothing's coming to me, I remember my 5th grade teacher, the way her eyes lit up when she said, this is really good. The way I, the skinny girl in the back of the classroom who was always getting into trouble for talking or missed homework assignments, sat up a little straighter, folded my hands on the desk, smiled, and began to believe in me. Oh my gosh, what an amazing way to describe yourself. It's just, oh, I love it. Anyway, so she has, not only has she done these picture books, but she's done middle grade and young adult books. This book right here, Brown Girl Dreaming. If you haven't read Brown Girl Dreaming, it's worth it. If you know somebody that's a middle school child and you want a good gift, Brown Girl Dreaming is the one. It is so amazing. All of these, she just, but I love Brown Girl Dreaming. And then she's done book for adult books, and poetry. Brown Girl Dreaming is a book on poetry. The story is told in poem form. And then she has an educational guide, which is pretty cool to go with different books. And I just love that about it. So the illustrator, though, is going to be the illustrator of both books that I read tonight. And his name is Rafael Lopez. Yeah. Look at this studio. Okay. Envy. He's an internationally recognized illustrator and artist. His illustrations bring diverse characters to children's books, and he's written to produce and promote books that reflect the honor and lives of all young people. Born and raised in Mexico City to architect parents, Lopez was immersed in the rich visual heritage, music, and surrealism of his native culture. So he's gone on and done a whole lot of books. He's created 57 portraits documenting Latino heritage. In 2022, he became the first guest artist of the Smithsonian National Postal Museum and taught workshops to children and families in Washington, D.C. It is just what he's gone on to do. His work is just phenomenal. And I think you'll really like it in this book, The Day You Begin, and you'll like it in the next one too. And let's see the next scene. There we go. The Day You Begin. Let's see. What's going on here? There we go. Let's get it a little bigger. By Jacqueline Woodson, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. Beautiful end paper too. There will be times when you walk into a room and there is no one quite like you. Maybe it will be your skin, your clothes, or the curl of your hair. There will be times when no one understands the way words come out of your mouth, the beautiful language of the country you left behind. My name is Rigoberto. We just moved here from Venezuela. And because they don't understand, the classroom will fill with laughter until the teacher quiets everyone. Rigoberto from Venezuela, your teacher says so soft and beautifully that your name and homeland sound like flowers blooming the first bright notes of a song. There will be times when the words don't come. Your own voice, once huge, now smaller, when the teacher asks, "What did you do last summer? Tell the class your story." These shells come from a beach in Maine, a boy named Jonathan holds out. Hang on, just a sec. And a boy named Jonathan holds out a jar filled with tiny shells so fragile they look like they'll turn to dust in your own untraveled hands. My whole family went to India, Spain, South Carolina. Each souvenir a small triumph of a journey, their travels going on and on. And as you stand in front of that room, you can only remember how the heat waved as it lifted off the curb, and your days spent at home caring for your little sister, who made you laugh out loud and hugged you hard at nap time. You can only remember the books you kept on reading long after she had fallen to sleep. And in that room, where no one else is quite like you, you'll look down at your own empty hands and wonder, what good is this when other students were flying and sailing and going somewhere? There will be times when the lunch your mother packed for you is too strange or too unfamiliar for others to love as you do. When even your own friend Nadia will wrinkle her nose and say, "What's in there anyway?" And you'll wonder how she doesn't see the rice beneath the meat and kimchi. You'll wonder why she doesn't remember that rice is the most popular food in the world. There will be times when the climbing bars are too high, the run is too fast and far, and the game isn't one you can ever really play. I don't want him on our team. You can watch. Maybe you can outturn later. There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of. And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. I love this picture. Look at the reflection. How much there is in the reflection. That's kind of, oh God. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. My name is Angelina and I spent my whole summer with my little sister, you tell the class. Your voice stronger than it was a minute ago. Reading books and telling stories, and even though we were right on our block, it was like we got to go everywhere. Your name is like my sister's, Rigoberto says. Her name is Angelina too. And all at once, in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. This is the day you begin to find the places inside your laughter and your lunches, your books, your travel, and your stories, where every new friend has something a little like you and something else so fabulously not quite like you at all. And that's that one. Whoops, what happened? Hang on, here we go. There we go. Yeah. that was the story, The Day You Begin, by Jacqueline Woodson. I love it, and I love especially some of the illustrations where, like that one with the reflection, that there's so much going on in the water that we don't see, that is telling us that there's more there that's kind of hidden. Yeah. Willing to do anything creative. 1 of 2 in my class. Good job. Yay. I got on the report cards for talking too much. Always. It was filled with a huge herd of elk, several babies, and lots of full racks, young bucks, and a big bull with a huge crown. Oh my gosh, Larry. He just arrived at the property. Oh, that's gorgeous. I hope you guys are taking pictures. That is awesome. Ugh. Yeah, it's that time where the young ones are out and about. Yay. That's amazing. There's areas down where Larry's property is. So there's just herds and herds of elk. It is the state animal. The Roosevelt elk is the state animal of Washington. Yeah, so they scooted before you could. Oh. Do I think she's writing about herself? Good question. And it very well could be that she is. One of the things that she is known for is writing about diversity and also how kids respond to each other. The book Each Kindness, which I'll revisit sometime and bring it back, is a book that was one in which she really laid out in a almost brutal fashion that of how words are said or not said affect, and how it affects us and not so much the other person. In Each Kindness, the kids all shun the new girl because she doesn't have good clothes, she has things out of season, she has weird toys, and this one girl continues to ignore her. And then the new girl doesn't come to school one day, and they do a kindness exercise, and they drop a pebble into the water, and it ripples out, and the teacher's asking them to say what kindness that you did. And everyone has something to say but the main character girl. And she realizes that she hasn't been kind to her and that she doesn't have anything, she can't say anything. And so she goes and looks for this girl, and she goes to the bus stop where she's supposed to be, and she goes along the road where she's supposed to be, and she waits for day after day after day for the girl to come so she can make up for not being kind. And the teacher comes in one day and says she won't be coming back, she's moved. And when I read this the first time to students, they were like, no, that can't happen. She doesn't get a chance to say, to make up. And it was a real eye-opener, and continues to be an eye-opener for kids, that there are some times where you will lose the chance to make up. And so what your actions are to begin with make a difference. And so Jacqueline Woodson has some really powerful themes that she puts through her books, and they speak to kids in a really kid level way, and she doesn't pull punches with them either, which is wonderful. But they also are spoken in such a way that they're just so beautiful, and the illustrators are always amazing. So the next book that I'm going to read is called Just Ask. Be different, be brave, be you. It's by the same illustrator. The author is someone I don't think you'll need much introduction for. Let's see, I don't know if she has a author's page. She may not have an author's page. See if this is, no. Yeah, she doesn't really have an author's page. Let's see, where am I on my, here. She has a page about herself, and a Wikipedia page. Yeah, it's Sonia Sotomayor, the first fearless federal trial court judge who saved Major League Baseball from the ruinous 1995 strike, entered the record book as the first Hispanic and third woman to serve on the High Court. She was born in the Bronx on June 25th, 1954. And that is who the author of this book is. She has done, I believe, more than this book, children's books, and they are all pretty amazing. So it's great. Very color, book visuals, stories are gorgeous. Yeah. No pictures. Hi, Helen. Helen's here. Yay. That's amazing. Very windy here. Kangaroos. We got elks and kangaroos in the chat. Yep. And I think that the books that Jacqueline Woodson does, and a lot of these have to do with the idea of bullying and with the being left out and being different, because it is a really a real issue that is it's not. And I think it's good for the books she has for teachers are so well done, because most teachers out there, of course you hear about the bad ones, but there's, for every terrible teacher you hear about or you had yourself, there are tons of us out there that were great teachers, and that truly it was our calling. We didn't do it for the money, trust me. We were teachers because it was our calling. And but there are things that if they're outside your realm, you needed books like that to help you sort those boundaries out, things that you don't know about, and things that you didn't know if it was okay to cross that line to ask the question of. Even it is that way. Kind of, do you ask those things? Are you going to offend somebody? Is it going to happen? What all that kind of stuff. So these books are always really helpful as a teaching tool. It's pretty awesome. And anyway, so this book is called Just Ask. Be different, be brave, be you. Nope, not that one. And there. She says to the letter to the readers, I was born June 25th, 1954, and in 1961, when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. To take care of myself, I had to do things other kids did not. Sometimes I felt different. When kids saw me giving myself a needle shot of insulin, my medicine, I knew they were curious about what I was doing, but they never asked me, my parents, or my teachers about it. I also often felt they thought I was doing something wrong. As I grew older, I realized that there are many ways to be, that I was not alone in feeling different. I wanted to write this book to explain how differences make us stronger in a good way. Let my experiences with diabetes, the challenges some kids face, can be very hard and sometimes frustrating. Some of us have conditions that require medicine or tools to manage things that other kids never have to deal with. Some of our difficulties are not even visible to others, but they make us feel different, and we do things that others don't understand. Yet all of these challenges often give us strength that others can't imagine. I hope by seeing yourself or your friends in this story, you will understand that we are all different, and you will find that notion comforting and empowering. I hope, too, that you will recognize what we have in common. Instead of fearing our differences or ignoring them, we can shed light on them and explore them together. If you ever wonder why someone is doing something different from other kids, just ask. Sonia Sotomayor. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight, others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly, while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile, and others are more hardy. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you're curious about each other kids, just ask. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes, and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though they can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? I do. My name is Rafael and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is like a tool to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? My name is Madison, and my guide, Dog Lucky, helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too. He uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? I'm Vijay. I learned about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia. So I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate, Tiana, also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk, especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? For me, listening comes more easily than talking. I'm a really good listener. My name is Anna, and I speak with a stutter. So I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I'm trying to say it. It may take me a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? I do. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette's syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me. But it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, and even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What's helpful to you? I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it's nut-free because I'm allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies. But we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? It's me, Sonia again. I ask questions when something seems different or new. I just ask my parents or my teachers and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make us our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like all those plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? And she says, Kamala Mala Garaja inspired her to write the book about children who live with challenging conditions, but whose courage, determination, and grit sustain them every day. So, anyway, that's that book. I love that one. I really do. It's one of those things that, having been a teacher before there was a diagnosis of ADHD, before it was even a term, Tourette's was not a term even used when I first started teaching. I had one of the first students in our school district to ever have Tourette's in my class. We had no idea. They'd never experienced. ADHD was not a thing in the early 90s even. It was not a diagnosis yet until the mid 90s that it actually started to become around and have something that was starting to be, that we could work with and knew what was going on. And then it became, I won't go there. And it's all of these different things. I also was, our school was, where I was the librarian, had the blind program. So all the kids in our district, the elementary kids, that were vision impaired were at my building. So it was one of those situations where I didn't get to move furniture around very much without having their input. So I would have those guys come in if I wanted to move my things around so that the kids would know where things had gotten moved to in the library. I also had students that had severe nut allergies, and it's you'll see that it's not uncommon to see a sign on a classroom door that says this is a nut-free classroom, or this is a tree nut-free classroom, or that, and means that even kids who are not allergic can't bring snacks to school that have nuts in them to eat in the classroom. I had a student that was so allergic that if anybody had been eating nuts or anything in the library, and even the oils got on the table and he came in and he touched that, it would cause him to go into shock. So those are things that don't show up, and those are things that the kids, I love this book because it gives them such a freedom to open up and talk about it, and gives them a point to take off and discuss that and what it is. And oftentimes then, instead of, oops, what happened there? Whoa, I lost myself. Instead of it becoming a situation of a disability or a problem, it becomes a way that kids can connect with each other because of similar challenges, and knowing that they can help each other out with things. And that's one of the things I love about this book. Yeah. 119, yay! 2,500 subs, that's awesome. Okay, you guys need to share my videos out. I've only got 145 subs, 144. Anyway, I'm working at it. We'll see. I kind of like having this small little group though. I really do. I like this small group of people. Anyway, let's see. Yes, you know, Julia, I'm going to have to disagree with that sometimes they're just nasty kids. I'll disagree there. It's because I think in my heart of hearts, that's just me as 35 years in teaching, I don't see kids that way. There's usually a core or an issue that causes them, because naturally children are not that way. And so we can agree to disagree on that. Had some, yep. Yeah, you froze. Uh-oh. Back up. I had horses, so I spent a lot of my time with them. Oh. I'm glad you like it. It's a great book. Yeah, she does a really good book with talking about. I just find them all the time. It's my anxiety. Yes, anxiety disorder can cause. My granddaughter has that happen to her when she gets very anxious. She'll get that happen to her, and we can always tell when she's getting nervous because it will start to. She'll have little reactions to that. Yeah. I'm checking through all the comments here, and somebody's rolling on the floor with Larry, laughing. Oh. Larry's allergic to people with allergies. Oh my gosh. Dr. Mike Huron, you do. Yes, I'm itching already. Oh my goodness. Larry, you're hilarious. Comes over in air fresheners. Larry from Catching Cooties. Slips on gloves. Yes. Cooties was a fun game. That was a fun game with the funny. Oh, I'm glad you like them. Latex. I have been, knock on wood, I don't have really any allergies. And you would think I would, having been raised on a farm and in the orchard, and the amount of pesticides and chemicals I was exposed to, but you would think it would be terrible. I would have it, but no, I'm just kind of going through. This is not a nut-free chat because just look at Gail says, this is not a nut-free chat because just look at all of us. Exactly. Yeah, that's funny. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, okay, those were two pretty amazing books. I hope you enjoyed them. The artwork from both Rafael Lopez has done just pretty amazing things, and is let me see on his portfolio. He has a portfolio on his website that shows some of his work, and let me just pull that up real quick. Here. You can see a lot of how his work, the bright colors, almost collage-like in some place, but painting all the different type of things. He has murals that he's done. Come on. I want to see the murals. Oh, look at those. So he's put up big, oh my gosh. That's beautiful. So he's done, and his heroes like Carlos Merida and Diego Rivera, painting murals around the country and working with children and communities has been an incredibly rewarding experience. It all started with the Urban Art Trail murals that transformed my own neighborhood, San Diego's East Village, and are the inspiration behind the children's book of maybe something beautiful, how art transformed a neighborhood. I think I read that one to you guys. When my family moved into an edgy downtown neighborhood, I realized large-scale murals could be the catalyst to bring people together and improve the community. Now you can find my murals in urban spaces, at children's hospitals, public schools, farmers markets, and under freeways around the country. That's pretty cool. That's wonderful. Yay! I love how the art connects all those through, and then the stories. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for story and art for our story circle tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Yes, the more children are exposed to animals and play in the dirt, the better their immune system. Yeah, that's why my grandkids, my daughters, Brent, the youngest ones, they grew up a farm. Yeah. Oh, okay, you guys, I don't know if I can show you this, but my granddaughter, oh Lord, she, I don't think it's still on there. Nope, it went off. It was on her Instagram story. So Brinny had, Bryn's my her middle child, Rook, the one who just turned 4. Total animal person, part on the farm, had a fly in her hand. And she said, Mommy, I pulled the wings off the fly and now it can't fly anymore. And Bryn said, well, Rookie, that wasn't very nice. And Rook said, but Mommy, I didn't want it to fly away. I wanted it to be my pet. I like flies. Oh my gosh. She pulled the wings off of a fly to try to keep it as a pet. This is a 4-year-old. She wanted it as a pet, a fly. She wanted a pet fly. Oh my gosh. Dirt, bugs, all that stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how I grew up too. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys, I want to say thank you so much for being here and for having you come in and join me here and be part of Story and Art and see these things and share these books, beautiful books that open up to show the differences and similarities that so many of us have. Kids' books just lay it out there in such a direct, simple fashion that, it's just something that I think we all need. And I thank you for letting me come into your home and for coming into mine and being part of this journey with me. This was episode 275. What? Yes, 275, you guys. It is awesome to have you here, and I thank you each and every night for coming in and joining me for these stories. And, until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around. It is everywhere, but it's looking right back at you from your mirror, and I'll see you next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feel alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard. There is the light in your eyes.
Yes, exactly.
We don't need no black cards. I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless.
Oh, thanks, Kelly. Julia, Kelly, Tamara, Angie, Larry, Gail, Helen, gosh, Linda. Thank you guys all for being here. It means a lot to me.
You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than usual. You don't even try.
Smooches and hugs, my friends. Yes.
There's not just stars on the boulevard. There is the light in your
I guess I'm thinking that it's not so much the child person itself, it may be a medical thing or a disability that causes that. I guess that's what I have to keep thinking, because I recognize those that it turns out to be a mental illness, and that's where I look at it differently. So, yeah. Thank you, Julia. Thanks, Linda. Good night, everybody. Good day, fam. From Larry. Oh my gosh. No dying on the phone. Not allowed. Not on my watch, Kelly. No, not on my watch. Yes, thank you for the thumbs up. If you know somebody who might like this story, share it out to them. Thank you. Night, everybody. Take care.